Season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen is at its peak right now. We're getting insane action and animation every single week. We're only a couple episodes off from the end of the season, but are we actually gonna make it to the end? For those who aren't caught up with the situation, animators working on the show are coming out exposing the harsh workload and scheduling they have been dealing with in the past few months. And it gets pretty bad, like going to the hospital bad. Hello everyone, my name is Wong Diggity, and I want to talk about what's been happening at MAPPA and with the show, what led to this situation, and what kind of outcome we can expect. We've heard it time and time again, Japan is an infamous example of poor work culture in modern society. Office workers staying the night to finish projects is all too common in the corporate world. But I'm not here to talk about the same thing everyone else has 50,000 times. So let's talk specifically about MAPPA and JJK Season 2. Like I said, being overworked is the norm, but it's uncommon for people to speak out publicly about it. About 2 weeks ago, Sota Shigetsugu, a key animator for recent MAPPA projects, shared some shocking information about the production schedule for JJK 0. The staff supposedly have 4 months to complete the movie. I would like to point out, Shigetsugu didn't work on 0, but due to the timing of the tweet and other JJK animators speaking out, we can infer he's talking about 0. What makes me so sure is shortly after he spoke out, multiple JJK leakers and insiders have commented on the production schedule for the season. They claim that episode 18 and onwards are in limbo with the possibility of the rest of the season being suspended due to animator walkouts and poor health conditions. The situation, like I said, is pretty bad. An important figure in the production, Hokuto Sadamoto, is hospitalized for having trouble breathing and vomiting blood. He's credited for episode director, animation director, storyboard, and key animation. This man is insanely overworked, and I wish him a speedy recovery. And I'm sure he's not the only staff member whose health is suffering due to the production. So how did it get this bad? Well, MAPPA has been extremely ambitious in the past couple of years, taking on numerous amount of projects ranging from Attack on Titan, Chainsaw Man, Vinland Saga, Hell's Paradise, and our show JJK. MAPPA is trying to establish itself as one of the biggest animation studios, and the price for that is its employees' well-being. And that's because this isn't the first time they've done something like this. More on that later. So the current situation is, episode 18 is out, but what's next? Well, we can take a look at past trends and make some inferences based on that. Shigetsugu, key animator mentioned earlier, and episode 16 director Itsuki Tsuchigami both implied that the staff barely finished episode 16 on time. As for episode 17, the situation is even worse. The director for that episode, Rochia Nobili, has said that what we got was only 30% of the intended vision. I have to say, episode 17 looked amazing, but there are definitely parts of the episode where you can tell the quality isn't quite up to par. So it's insane to think what we could have had instead. I don't know, was it something you guys can tell while watching the episode? That it was quote unquote incomplete and on a time crunch? Let me know in the comment section below. I can only assume episode 18 followed the trend of 17. We know it's released, and despite the fact that it looks good, it probably isn't the best we could have gotten. Now for the million-dollar question, what about episodes 19 to 23? My theory is that they will continue to be released on schedule. I think the series is too big, so MAPPA will most likely hire some other animators or freelancers to help finish the season. The truth is, while the animators that have spoken out are working with MAPPA, they're not direct employees of the studio. They also work on other projects from other studios. In fact, something similar happened with the production of Hell's Paradise, where there were a bunch of people working on the show instead of having a reasonable production schedule. Quantity over quality. Well, at least in terms of scheduling. And that show finished on time and it looked great. And the other thing we have to consider is, many shows are scheduled for broadcast months in advance. It will impact not only JJK, but whatever show that follows in that time slot, which could lead to some other studio having to pick up the slack, causing a domino effect. So I think JJK will stay on schedule like the other MAPPA projects. If it was a 2-core season, that would make everyone's life easier, but that's not the case here. The quality might drop slightly, but I don't think we'll have a 7 Deadly Sins situation in our hands. Later down the road, maybe the Blu-ray release will give us the director's intended vision. It's nice knowing we will get to watch the rest of the season in the coming weeks, but it also sucks knowing how hard of a time the production staff is having. I know many others out there are also willing to wait or understand if the show took a break, but at this point, we can only hope that MAPPA does better in the future. Until next time, Wong Diggity out.